back into the 14A Sports Radio Show. 14A Sports Radio Show is brought to you by Fan Together. If you're a fan in out-of-town market, go to fantogether.net and see where your favorite fans are watching the game tonight. Rocking the shirt tonight.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
also,
If you could scan through the computer screen, you can get that.
Yeah.
we will be on SoundCloud immediately following the show. You
Yes.
can follow us on SoundCloud at
Yeah.
14A Sports.
Much
We'll
little more
be up
convenient
there.
way.
You can listen to it on your phone while you're in your cube, getting your ass kicked by Excel spreadsheets.
Oh, yeah.
On your travel, if the George Washington Bridge is closed and you're sitting in traffic.
SoundCloud's got an app, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah,
All right, yes.
Free app.
Download that thing when you're walking your dog in the park.
Whatever activity.
If you're on a
involved in.
romantic date with some bitch you don't want to hear talk, you can just pop in the microphones and listen to us instead.
Speaking of that, real quick, my buddy texted me, and he's like, "Bro, I'm meeting for the first time. I'm actually meeting someone from Tinder."
Oh, nice.
He's like,
Oh.
"Any advice?"
Can we come with the camera?
I was
Yeah,
like-
have us there with the camera.
I was like, "Have a couple of drinks,
Yeah.
but don't get
Loosen it up.
too banged up."
Oh, boy.
And so like I texted him a little later, and I'm like, how's she look? How's it going? And I went to sleep, but I woke up in the morning, and he just sent me a text. He goes, "No sex."
What?
So that's how that went.
I thought sex was implied on Tinder.
Right.
Well,
I
guess
mean,
I've
not
never
always.
done the Tinder app.
Classy girl.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a keeper. Who knows?
Who knows?
All right. So this past weekend, we just had the NFL divisional matchups. The Seattle Seahawks knocking off the New Orleans Saints, covering that spread there.
How about the play to end that game? Man?
Yeah.
Did you hear that
DeMarcus
they
Coulson
said
play.
that's how he drew it up? I think they're just
Well-
trying to save him from looking like a
I
dum-dum.
don't think that's how they drew it up, but it's a play that they ran in practice before.
See, what had happened was...
That whole 2-minute drill was a mess. I mean,
Yeah.
they throw that little curl to Graham in the middle of the field. Takes up. They only got 7 or 8 yards. Took up a ton of time. Spiked it, and then they have Colston. At least if you go out of bounds, you might even be able to get 2
Oh,
plays
my
off.
God.
To
Yeah.
throw the ball
Well, how many
so
seconds-
easy
seconds?
like that.
How many seconds? It was like
7
3,
or
8, or something like
Yeah.
that. All right. Yeah, so maybe one play, maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
It
One
would've been-
quick out. And
Yeah,
then,
all right.
and then a ball to the end zone.
Now I was wondering when Seattle first scored there, I was like, did they let him score there? Was it just like was Seattle not
Skittles.
thinking? I mean, I guess at the time Seattle's like, whatever. You got the 2-touchdown lead. They
Right.
had no timeouts left. You're like, whatever. Game's
Yeah,
over.
at that point, just go and prevent.
But,
just hit people running
I'll
across
tell you
the
what.
middle.
The
the Saints
Saints.
with the backdoor cover, man. Ugh,
Well,
so annoying.
they're the best onside kick team of all time.
Yeah.
Like remember the Super Bowl?
Dude, all
They're
weekend,
awesome.
all weekend we had some onside kicks. In the Denver San Diego
Yeah,
one.
that's
we had
another
that.
one they blew it.
Um,
And then the other two
think
games
that
were
was it.
basically out
Yeah.
of.
all right, so it just
Oh,
those
wait,
two.
but
You
Saturday
don't
and
see them.
Sunday we had it.
You don't see them that often. You're right.
Like, especially where the offensive team gets it, or the kicking team gets
Right.
it. Usually,
No,
say it's
exactly, right. You don't
a
see
mute
them
player,
recover.
they kick it
Yeah.
out of bounds, and it's like, oh, all right, game's over. But
Golden Tate.
right there with his hands.
Fire him off the hands. Team.
Oh boy! And then how about Percy Harvin? He got his mouthpiece knocked out of his helmet twice.
That was a vicious hit,
Yeah.
man. The second one,
Sheesh.
guys
is he
whacked
playing
him
this
from the
weekend?
back.
Or?
I don't know. He didn't practice today, so we'll see how the rest of the week goes.
Who do you like?
Also,
who do you like?
Tom Brady didn't practice today,
Should we
which
just
is
run through all the
interesting.
games
A
real
little
quick, or?
shoulder injury. Yeah, we'll just
Brady and
do that. Yeah, I mean Brady and the Pats. They knocked off the Colts.
Where did that running game come from?
I did say the Patriots knock them off by 2-3 touchdowns.
Well, that Indy defense, that was brutal all year.
Horrendous.
And so, obviously the Pats went in with a game plan to, just run it down their throats. That offensive line played tremendous.
Yeah, I mean,
well, I think
I thought if anything, the Pats were gonna throw the ball on him just because the secondary was so banged up.
Right.
But I don't know if it was the conditions or something that they saw when they were watching film, but they just plowed it right down the throat. I
maybe
mean,
they just looked at the roster. I'm going to run it
What
on
started
this
the game
guy,
off?
on this guy.
what started the game off bad with the pick right there in their own zone, getting down early.
First pass, right?
But the Colts climbed back in that game, and they were tight with it in the third quarter.
Right,
they were
right.
only down a score or two.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the Patriots just blew their holes out. It's bullshit.
And now Luck doesn't have a beard anymore.
Thank God, for his sake.
Where'd the neck beard go?
It went down a drain.
I just wanted to,
So,
I just wanted to cut the beard after losing.
So how'd
to the
you guys
Patriots.
do with the picks on Saturday? I went 2-0 in that.
I had the
I went 1-1. I had the Seahawks.
Seahawks was a winner or loss.
Loss.
I had the Saints.
All right, so and then the
So
Pats.
I went 1-1.
I had the Pats.
All right, so we both went 2-0. Sunday, woof, East and West. I put my whole reputation on the line, these Carolina Panthers. Now, listen, I knew, and I still do know that the 49ers are a far more superior team than the Carolina Panthers. But, that just seemed like too easy of a line having it on a pick'em there. I mean, everybody you talk to, Niners. All right, of course I'm going to go the other way. to quote our good pal
You're-
Rich,
you're
because
contra-
everyone sucks.
You're a contrarian,
Everyone
just
sucks.
for contrary's sake.
So
Just
yeah,
to be a contrary.
Did San Diego cover?
yeah,
Yeah,
they
San
So
Diego
I
did
went
covered as
4-0.
well.
because of the onside kick.
I went 4-0
you had
then.
San Diego, too?
Congratulations.
I had the points.
Did you go undefeated the first week too, right?
Yeah, I'm 8-0.
Woo! Get a load of this guy.
That
Well,
depends-
I didn't-
7-0-1.
Depends
Push,
on
the push on that
7-0-1.
first one. All right.
depends on what line you have.
All right,
no,
so
no, the San Fran game
Oh,
against
that
Green
was a
Bay.
push.
No.
Right. All right. Well, at the
Um,
worst, 7-1-1.
All right.
Oh, 6-1-1.
But yeah, I mean, San Fran.
Let's just make it a clean 8-0.
We're all 8-0.
Let's just keep it simple. But San Fran, yeah, those two drives right before the half and right after the half
Right.
really just put that game out of reach. And Carolina, once they got shut down on that first goal line attempt, then the second time they opted to kick the field goal there. And that was kind of the break, the make or break point of the game. They couldn't really move the ball at all against San Fran, and
Yeah.
I mean, getting stuff in that first goal line attempt
Yeah.
was really
Yeah,
killed them,
horrible. What
'cause
was
they were
that
still-
right guard doing? He just like fell flat on his face, like he was ready
I'm
to do a
surprised.
push-up.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Cam
come on.
Newton out of the. I'm surprised they didn't put Cam Newton out of the shotgun and let him get a little momentum going
Yeah,
towards the line,
do
because
that
that's what he was so
Superman.
successful as in Auburn doing that, and he's their best goal line back, as they always say. But you're basically just you have no momentum to go forward, and you just kind of dive into the pile. You're not going to go anywhere.
But that play with the right guard, that was all product of Justin Smith, the defensive tackle. He pushed the Carolina offensive line back, made that right guard or the left guard pulling. He had to go longer, and he tripped on his own guy's foot and basically tackled Tolbert in the hole.
He still sucks. He's an NFL player. He should stand on his feet.
Now we could talk about this a little more for the the Seahawks Niners game, but I feel like everybody's on the Niners
Absolutely.
now.
I do want to say one thing, because I know we were talking about it, but the listeners don't. I feel in this Carolina San Fran game, the refs are all about the Niners. And listen, I'm not. I say this all the time. I'm not one of these guys to bitch and moan about the refs, but you had
go ahead and
you
bitch
had,
and
you
moan
had
about
two
it.
specific plays. You had one
Yeah, what
in the
plays are you
beginning
talking
there.
That's like anytime anyone starts
Where-
a sentence with "I don't mean to offend you," you're gonna get
You're
offended.
about to get offended.
Now, Wolf starts with "I don't mean to complain about the refs," but now
here we
here
go.
Here
And here
come
we
the
go.
complaints
Here we
about
go.
the refs.
All right, so you had
Having said that,
Right. Exactly.
Here we go. All right, so the first one where Anquan Bolden gets headbutted. First of all, it's a very
were
very
really-
light tap about this
we
one.
were hanging out the Rock on Sunday, and we were watching this game, and he was chirping about this the whole
Oh my God!
time.
Because then the same thing happens
happened
to
on
the Panthers later on in the game, and it's just a full blown headbutt right to the skull. They don't call shit. And then you got
it was
another
happening
play.
after every play. They're not going to throw the flag.
And then
every
the
single
one
It's
play
like
before Vernon
they're both
Davis
yapping back and forth.
scores the touchdown there at the end of the first half. You got 12 men on the field.
That
Tapping
was a
right
mess.
in front of the referees right there. Then all the Carolina guys are hooting and hollering. Look at him. He's running off the field. They don't call anything.
There was 12 guys on a Vernon Davis touchdown.
Yeah, but
Yeah, in the huddle.
In the huddle.
In the huddle.
He ran off the field as before
Yeah,
he got
that was
the
probably a miss.
Those kind of things happen.
Oh yeah,
That happened
in the playoffs.
Remember
Yeah.
Notre Dame against Michigan State last year when they had two guys with the same number on a field.
Oh,
When
yeah,
they
yeah,
missed
yeah,
it, when
yeah.
they missed the field goal.
Yeah.
I mean, those kind of things happen.
All right.
All right, San Francisco dominated that game in the second half.
Yeah, that was. I mean, Carolina just couldn't do anything on offense. It was
You know
just-
what? Carolina, Steve Smith, he caught that early touchdown, and then he looked like he got banged up. Carolina doesn't have any weapons on the outside.
They do not.
They really have no firepower on the outside.
Yeah,
That
especially
killed
with Steve Smith banged up. I mean,
Right.
You probably get the shot before the game starts, and you're probably feeling pretty loose. But then
Right,
you go
right.
back in the halftime, you start tightening up a little, and then
Yeah, he looked
get
like
a
he
couple
fell
hits
on
here
it too.
and there.
Yeah,
More shots.
But they definitely
You
they need some firepower on the outside.
For show. And then Denver, they had that game locked up against San Diego. A couple
yeah.
botch plays there. I know Demaryius Thomas had a ball go right through the numbers.
Right
pop
at
up
halftime.
hands. Great play, by the way.
Yeah,
I think that
great
was
interception.
Butler.
Yeah, by the linebacker.
Butler came back there. Made
You know what? That Denver San Diego game was a lot like the Saints Seattle game,
Yeah.
where Denver and
Just
Seattle both
dominated all
dominated, but it was
time.
only 17 and 16 nothing.
Right.
And then the other team kind of crept up to the
Yeah.
game and had a shot at the
Oh,
end.
Well,
There.
it seems like once Denver lost Chris Smith there, it seems like Keenan Allen kind of started breaking out a little, and that's when San Diego finally started moving the ball and scoring.
Right.
But it was just too little too
And
late.
then
as you
that
kinda
3rd and
said.
17 at the end of the game.
Cover
San
somebody!
Diego's gonna
Cover somebody!
Oh, they're gonna be seeing that play in their nightmares for
Peyton Manning
the whole
coming
offseason.
through in the clutch.
Oh.
Who says Peyton's not clutch?
Bro, I'll tell you what though. You watch Manning. He can't throw the ball more than 20 yards. He can't.
It is
not
a
on the
struggle.
line, man. He threw a couple of those balls to Julius Thomas. You could tell he's putting everything he has to get that ball down the field.
Yeah.
Omaha.
That was the big discussion, right? Omaha.
Oh boy.
What
Well,
is
that
like?
was something. If you're a Giants fan, you've been hearing that for years.
Absolutely.
The Omaha call from Eli.
Yeah.
And apparently it's just a call that they can change and make it a dummy call, and that's what they changed, I guess. And they must have got them offsides, 5 times in the game?
Well, they said on the first drive they were going Omaha, and then the next sound they snapped the ball. And on the subsequent drive, they would Omaha make a sound, but it was a dummy call, and they would get to the jump. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was a good move by whoever it was. But obviously McCoy, knowing Denver, and probably saying to the defense like, hey, this is his cadence, this is what he likes to do. Go on that call, and then be able to get some cheap yards off that and keep him at bay.
All right. So that is the past. We will take a look ahead to the future now. This Sunday,
Not here to talk about the past.
3:00 Eastern
Practice?
time. It's going to be about
playoffs?
1:00 Mountain Time out there in Denver. The
Mountain
New
time.
England Patriots are going to take on the Denver
A
Broncos.
lot of marijuana smoking going on in the championship games this weekend.
Now this line has been floating at different spots all week. First you see it apparently at 7. I didn't even see it at 7. And I saw it at 5. Go to the internet today. It's at 6. Now it's at 5.5 currently. We're gonna move with the line as always, of course.
As we always do.
Starting last week.
Now. We got a caller. All right, we'll get to him. We'll see who this is.
See what's up. The last caller was pretty fun.
Howdy, partner. Welcome to the 14A Sports Radio Show. Who's this?
Howdy, partner.
Hello. This is not the country
Hello.
western. Hello.
Hi, I'd like to give a shout out to Naja and congratulate her.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. Oh, why? Thank you.
How do you know Naj?
Yeah, nice job, girl. I'm so proud of you. This
Oh,
is up
thank you.
Nancy.
Thank you
Oh.
for calling.
Thank you, Nancy.
Nancy, how you doing?
Oh my God.
What part of the show do you like
I
the
better-
best?
I better see some more.
Well, I got a
Oh, my
couple of
God.
things coming up in the future, so
Are you
you're going to
cur-
have to stay tuned.
Are you currently watching right now?
No, I'm not
Oh.
even home.
You would see how pretty I look right now.
Oh my gosh. I hope I can see this.
Yeah, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube.
Okay. I'm so proud of you, baby girl. You do your thing.
Hey,
Mwah,
Aunt Nancy,
mwah.
once you pull the show up, give us a call back and let us know what you think. Thanks.
Okay. I'm driving, but I'm gonna try and do that. Okay,
All right.
bye.
Yeah, bye.
All right.
Thank you, Aunt Nancy.
Oh,
That-
Aunt Nancy, you crazy.
Walsh, that was a tremendous little black girl voice.
I don't even know who I am anymore.
Oh,
I can't wait to see the look on Nancy's face when she sees a bearded man. Was
Who that white boy?
We're gonna make you do the whole Bachelor segment in the little female black
I
voice.
want Pablo.
I want Pablo.
Uh,
You take my breath away.
Stick it in my toolbox. I want Pablo.
now for those of you who are wondering what the hell is going on, the Dee-X radio show that goes on before us, they had some kind of movie. They had all the stars in here. That were going on beforehand.
So I think
So
it was
they
a
obviously
family
thought
member, somebody.
that the show was rolling past 8:00, but no.
All right, back to Pat's New England.
Well, I
Denver.
think it's going to be an interesting game. All right, so we got
What do we
Yeah,
call the
man.
line right
We'll
now?
call it at 5.5. Why not? Right.
All right.
That way we can.
I like
have a
the
winner
Pats.
and a
I think
loser.
the Pats.
I'll
Are
take the
gonna,
Pats at 5.5.
I think
all
they're
day.
going to win the game outright. I really do. I think Walsh.
I'm
you
gonna
got
go
some-
Pats too.
You have some good stats here. This is their
Yeah, Brady 10-4.
this
Yep.
is their 15th matchup, which is really crazy in the NFL, where you only see each other once a year. Brady's up 10-4. Manning couldn't get over to Belichick.com for years and years. Belichick
Yeah.
always seemed to have his number.
Until finally that the game in 06.
Yeah, it
when
was like
they had
40
they were down 21-0 at half.
Right.
Had to come back, and then that's when Peyton finally got his first ring,
Right.
or well, his only ring so far.
The other thing too, which is interesting, is Peyton's always had the more talented team. You can argue than the Patriots. He's always had Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison.
Offensively, anyway.
Yeah, Dallas Clark, Edwin James. The
Well,
list
I mean,
goes
yeah,
on with all the
The
talent.
NFL
they
had
have.
to change the rules for Peyton because
That was all Bill Polian. Yeah.
because of the playoff
They
game
just
in
beat
New
them up.
England, and they were just
Yeah.
basically mauling the receivers and just ugly in the game up, and that's how the Patriots, those old teams, always won those Super Bowls. They would just win ugly and.
I like them.
But I'll tell you what,
I like them.
if you look at Denver this season, right, the
I
games
like
they
them.
lost, I think New England, is gonna follow the same blueprint. Just run the ball, keep Peyton off the field, run the
Yeah.
ball, control the clock, And that Denver defense hasn't really played well yet.
No,
it really
yeah.
hasn't.
No, not at
I
all.
think the cornerback's going to be out also, right?
Yeah,
He's
like
out. He's
Davis, Harris.
Harris, he's out. And you know what? Payton hasn't been that impressive either. That offense hasn't been clicking. It really hasn't. I think his arm is shot, man. You know, the whole year, a lot of throws on that arm. I see New England winning this game outright on Tom Brady, which I'll tell you what, Belichick has done an unbelievable coaching job with the amount of guys they've lost.
Absolutely.
And he's had Peyton's number, with the game plans he's put together, and I think the Patriots go up there and win this game outright in Denver.
One thing about the Patriots defense too, they're not going to shut you down, but time and time again they always have these big plays on defense, and we saw it against the Colts last week. And again against Peyton Manning, you get enough pressure on him, could see a couple wounded ducks go up for grabs.
Yep.
Maybe get a pick six here in the game. New England special teams always does a very good job. I know the first time that they played each other this season, Denver's special teams was the reason that they lost that game. Game's tied in overtime. I believe it was Holiday went back for the punt
And
remember?
fumbled.
Oh yeah, muffed it.
Right.
And and that just led to the easy field goal. But yeah, you look at New England. You guys were just talking about it, but you just have to, give them applause for everything that they do. Losing Hernandez, losing Gronkowski,
Yeah,
Mayo,
just,
Wilfork.
oh my
I
God,
mean, their
the
top
list goes
five.
on.
You got to look at that team going into the beginning of this year with Welker gone, Hernandez gone, Gronkowski gone,
Yeah,
Amendola not really doing what you think he was going to do. Edelman being basically their best receiving option now with
Edelman's
Gronkowski out.
like a mini Megatron.
Then you lose Wilfork, you lose Gerard Mayo, you lose Brandon Spikes. He's out now.
Yeah.
And it's just they just keep on plugging guys in. And even though I don't like their defense, they just lost too many guys. I think Aqib Talib is still far and away the best defensive player in this game.
Hey, that's my Aqib Talib.
Aqib Talib.
Don't you dare!
He'll
But
shoot
I
your
mean,
mama.
screw
I was so impressed with what New England was able to do last week by running the ball, and I don't know if this is just that was a one game plan thing, if this is what they plan on doing going forward, if they think they can throw on Denver and keep on moving the ball.
I think they can do both.
Yeah.
I absolutely think they can.
The only thing I
Ground,
worry
air, or
is
sea.
similar, kind of what I was talking about before with the 49ers, everybody be on them. I feel like a lot of people are on the Patriots.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that always makes me a little worried, as you said, Walsh. It's like you always get too worried when everybody's like, oh, this team's got it locked up.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a really close game. I'll just take the point just because I think the Patriots won't get beat by more than 3.
My whole
if
thing,
anything.
my whole thing going into these games this weekend is I'm going to stick with who I had with the Super Bowl picks in the beginning of the year. I had the Patriots and the Seahawks, so I'm not going away from that. My mind is very biased in those senses.
And the past years when the Patriots have lost, it's been to teams with tough defenses, like the Ravens last year, the Giants a couple years ago, where they can get in their face, shut them down, beat up the receivers, and make it an ugly game. And then, just keep them at bay. Whereas I don't think Denver's defense has this kind of ability.
And also, I don't think the Patriots' rushing attack has been as effective in those past seasons as they show that they can run it this year. You got that hammer, LeGarrette Blount.
I'm not getting in front of him.
Absolutely huge.
Not getting in front
and
of
that
him.
offensive line, you got to give him a lot of credit. That left side with Soldier and Mankins is playing tremendous.
Yeah.
I think that's the fact that they're going to control the ball. They're going to run the ball. Denver's defense hasn't stopped anybody. New England's defense, I think, is better than Denver's defense. Say the offenses are neutral, however they're going to attack. I think it's a clear advantage for the Patriots. And a lot of people are going with the Patriots. That's fine. Me too. I'll go with them.
You got to wonder now because they said Brady missed the practice today. He's got a shoulder issue. Is this Belichick being Belichick?
Yeah, I don't see
give
it
him a
being.
day. He's an old, 30-plus-year-old quarterback. It doesn't mean anything.
I don't see that. I don't see that happen. Brady's gonna be fine.
A lot of times they give veterans Wednesdays off anyway. Him missing a practice means nothing.
Yeah, I think Brady's been there enough to know what's going on.
All right. And in the NFC, we've got probably the best rivalry going in the NFL right now. San Francisco 49ers heading up to the Great Northwest.
Well, you got Brady Manning on one side as
It's
individuals.
going to be the best weekend
and
of football.
you
we've
couldn't
seen
really
in a while.
ask for a better
No,
Final
absolutely
Four.
not. So now,
The best. The first time it's went chalk in.
Yeah.
I think since 05 or 06 or something like that, where the top 2 teams in each division have gone to the finals. So,
it sucks that the we know that the Niners are the second best team in the NFC.
They were the second best team, though.
It's not literal chalk.
They've
but
actually been the best team in football.
It's like one of
take away
these.
the first couple weeks of the year.
Yeah.
The first couple weeks they struggled a
absolutely.
little bit. But
I guess you have any advanced metrics like the DVOA on teams?
Right.
It's basically adjusted for schedule or opponents and strength of
Right.
schedule. San Fran and Seattle have finished 1 and 2. Seattle, San Fran, respectively, for the last 2 seasons.
Nice.
And so now them facing each other, in the
Right.
finals,
They're the two best teams.
is
Yeah,
appropriate.
I don't think we could have asked for a better matchup in this. This is the one everybody wants to see. So.
My one thing here is, can Seattle move the ball? I don't know. They haven't been able to show the ability to move the ball against the Saints. I mean, the past couple of weeks they lost to Arizona at home,
Right.
especially against the 49ers defense. But 49ers have looked terrible the last 2 times they went up to Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, my
Kaepernick is I don't know. He plays his best in the playoffs. This is the only time they unleash him to play like this. But
Kaepernick and the Niners, they didn't really do too well the game that they beat the Seahawks too. They kicked 4 field goals and they had a huge run by Frank Gore. Which
I feel like Crabtree's been the guy. That's
oh my God, Crabtree's been amazing.
I don't know if Carolina kind of rotated towards him because Bolden had a huge game last week. But it seems like ever since he's been back, that offense has been going.
Well, this is the thing. Seattle's got the corners to match up with these Niners receivers physically. And I'm pretty sure Vernon Davis is scarred for life whenever he faces off against Seattle from that hit that he took 2 years ago up there, where he basically, flew into the sideline wall. But, I mean, listen, again, when you got too many people on one side, you got to look at it. And listen. And you're right. The last 2 times that San Fran has gone to Seattle, they haven't looked good. And you can play that card all over again that you want. Like, all right, they got the whole blown out the first time, and they're going to do much better.
I don't put any
this
stock
time.
in any of the
I
previous
just think
games.
Seattle
None.
knows how to handle San Francisco.
No, what happened, 8 weeks ago has no bearing on what's going on now. None, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Giants are the epitome of that. Their Super Bowl runs. It's the hot
Sure.
team. I think a big factor, it's the San Fran front seven against that struggling Seattle offensive line. That offensive line hasn't played that well.
Well, Marshawn Lynch still had a good game last week.
Well, Cameron Jordan had a big game with the Saints. They were able to get to Russell Wilson. And the San Francisco run defense is obviously much better than the Saints. I think they're going to get after Wilson. I think that they're going to force Wilson to beat them. And I think when he drops back, I think they're going to get to him. I think that San Fran defense is the key. That Seattle defense is also very good. And like you said, they have the corners to match up. But I think, Kaepernick does enough to, get them in position to score points. Whereas I don't think Russell Wilson's going to be able to do it as well. So I think Seattle, especially San Francisco, given the points. The one factor that we didn't discuss yet is that Seattle home field.
Yeah.
How much emphasis do you put on that? How big a
Yeah, I mean,
how big a plus is that for Seattle? I guess it's huge. I actually read something. Mike Glennon did a little thing on
Monday Morning
CNNSI.
Quarterback.
Yeah, describing just how loud it actually is. But you put the game plan in place. They have played there. It's not like they're unfamiliar to that noise and what it's going to be like. So I'm sure they have their systems in place to deal with that noise. And I think they're with Crabtree back. They're with Kaepernick running it. They're multi-dimensional on offense, San Francisco. And I think their defense is going to shut down the Seattle offense. So
Yeah.
I like Seattle, especially. I like San Fran, no doubt, getting points.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one
And
interesting
I am
thing
6-1-1.
that you haven't seen yet this whole postseason, or really during the regular season, Russell Wilson scrambling roll. And I don't know if it's something similar with the Kaepernick thing where they're like, all right, just only do it when we really need a big play or when we really need it to happen. Because, I mean, even in that Saints game last week, he was running backwards all the time, always looking to make a throw. But, I mean, who's he throwing it to? Golden Tate and Doug Baldwin?
No Harvin.
You know, I mean, Zach Miller as a tight end. I mean, is he making plays against Bowman or Harris or, some of the corners that San Fran's got? I don't see it happening.
Here's the thing, Seattle. Everybody likes to nitpick in these games. All right, it's not like Seattle hasn't been doing their damn thing all year. They can play offense. They're just in a little rut right now. They can move the ball.
Now's not the time to be in a rut.
They can do all that stuff. But
what you did in week 4 doesn't matter.
What a better time to break out of that rut though than right now. And I think in a divisional knock 'em out game like this, I mean, it's tough to predict what's going to happen with these two teams because they hate each other. Every hit is going to be amazing. Every catch is going to, be, like on the edge of your seat. It's just going to be. It's a divisional game. The biggest rivals in the league. It's tough to predict the X's and the O's because you just throw all that out the window.
So let's talk
once
about
you get on
travel
the
schedules.
field. All right. Well, here comes San Fran
they have to
from
go back to
California.
Carolina.
That's a hike.
To San Fran.
But
Is that Southern California or Northern California? Where is San
it's
Francisco?
mid-California.
Mid-California? California is large.
Very
It's
large.
probably one of the longest states ever.
If you
It
look at the
is.
map,
It
it's
is
definitely
the
the
longest,
longest.
yeah.
It's definitely long.
That's
Very
what
long.
she said.
California has that big dick.
That's how they like him in San Francisco, huh? I know you know about that.
But no, I think ultimately
Do you use your little black girl voice when you go to San Francisco?
Oh my! I've never seen so many big gentlemen in one place.
Just to close out with the whole thing, I think the Seattle home crowd will be the determining factor.
What's your
in this
pick?
game. Seattle.
All right, I wanted to go Seattle, but again, San Fran. Like Mully said before, you go with the hot team in January.
We got any
Going San Fran.
predictions on scores?
I'm not a score guy.
Okay. I'm just saying in the Denver New England game,
2016.
over under is 56. So we're gonna see a lot of points.
Do you like the
there.
over though in that, or what?
I think at 56. Why the hell not? And then
50, what in the first
First
In the
game.
Denver,
game?
New England.
Yeah, you gotta like the over in that one.
and
So
then-
let's go under.
It's very, very telling. Very
Let's
telling with
tease
all
it.
those ones.
Let's tease
But
the-
in the San Fran Seattle game, the over under is at 38 and a
We'll
half.
tease the Pats up to like 11.5, and we'll get the over at like 40 something or 50.
Let's do
50
it.
flat.
Let's do it.
Oh.
Let's do it.
We'll buy all the points we didn't use there. Let's see. But yeah, 38 and a half for the over under in the Seattle San Fran game,
Wow.
which is kind of weird.
All right, so sum it up.
I mean, it's
I got
not
the
weird.
I got the Pats and the Niners both getting the points. Nips.
Yeah, Pats and Niners.
Pats and Seahawks.
All right, nice.
Woo!
All right, let's go.
All
MetLife,
right.
baby. 2
All right.
weeks.
When we get back, Cole's News Network. Sure. All right. Great.
She's
Do
excited. She's excited.
Yeah, wait. We got the Bachelor recap. We did the fantasy draft this weekend at the Vic. Rose, the season ticket holder, is back in the building.
Good to see you
Probably
back,
because
Rose.
when I
She's traded in her season ticket.
When- yeah.
She bought a pass on Craigslist.
when
today to
when
come
she
by.
came to the Vic, I basically yelled at her like, "What the hell? You ain't at the show no
Look at
more."
her face.
15 minutes.